Now, if he stays, I'm hoping Josh King will be our best player. I mean, he's got some brilliant talent. He scored some brilliant goals last year, some important goals as well.
Robbie Brady, and my reason why is not just in terms of goals, but in terms of assists. I know that his free kicks, his corners could be massively important for us this season.
Perhaps Inácio could come to Leicester, score a bag full of goals, and could make that difference for us as a club going forward.
Anthony Knocker, he's a doer, he's the little magician, he can unlock defences, he certainly was able to do that in the Championship.
Our most important player is most definitely Gylfi Sigurdsson. He had a hand in over half of our Premier League goals.
Without a doubt, he's Vincent Kompany. Great player, great athlete. For me, world-class defender, one of the best, if not the best defender in the Premier League.
It's Sadio Mane. I think we saw last season what happened to Liverpool when he went to the Africa Cup of Nations. We struggled in January, we had too many games and we didn't have enough pace in our side.
You've got to look at Jonjo Shelvey because he is the creative midfielder. Without him, Newcastle look pretty average. But then again, Dwight Gale's goals, if you take his goals away from the Championship, Newcastle wouldn't have been promoted.
The obvious choice would be Virgil van Dijk. It's been highly documented that he's been worth 60, 70 million pounds that the press has been bounded about, and he can walk into any Premier League team or any European team for that matter, but not since Matt Le Tissier has there been such a player that's been so much better than the rest of the squad.
Paul Pogba is going to be one of the world's best midfielders, and this season he's going to dominate for Manchester United.
Harry Kane, obviously we're so reliant on all of his goals. He scored plus 30 goals in all competitions last season. He scored as many the season before. He's got to be in the top 3 or 4 strikers in Europe.
Alexis Sanchez, do I need to explain why? Double figures of goals, double figures assists. Most important player in the team, world class, it's that simple.
Casey Palmer on loan from Chelsea. He's got nutmegs for days, got a burst on him, got a drive, sees a pass, quality player although young.
So the most important player this year for West Ham will be the goal scorer, Chicharito. As long as he bangs in the goals and stays fit, I can see us having a very, very good season.
I think the season's going to hinge on how well Berahino clicks into gear. If he doesn't, it's going to be 13 million down the drain.
Eden Hazard for us is someone who causes problems for Premier League defences, and with Diego Costa gone, we're going to need a player like him in our squad.
Doucouré, he's got stronger and stronger since he first came into the side in January. He's looked impressive in pre-season, and I see him making a strong partnership with Chalobah in midfield.
It's Rodriguez, and really looks like he could add a new dimension to the West Bromwich Albion attack.
Wayne Rooney, I still think he'll score goals and be a key player for Everton this season.
Top 10? You know, is that too much to ask? Because that's what we've been hoping for each season for the last 2 or 3 years. You look at the sort of players we're being linked with and the quality he's brought in already this season with Riedewald and Loftus-Cheek. There's potential in this Palace team.
We've got Ake, Defoe and Begovic, all 3 big players that have played for the club in the past. However, all playing at once in their prime with the class they've got. I'm hoping that if you add the Eddie Howe effect to that, we can do well and push on.
Hope we get more than one away win. That's all we got last season, so I want to see at least more than one, then I'll be happy.
Leicester fans, after sampling the Champions League next season, would love to get back into Europe. We would accept the Europa League. Most Leicester fans would be happy with the Europa League.
That we don't get into another relegation scrap, that would be wonderful.
It's got to be just silverware. I mean, after last season, disappointing not to win anything, while United were, you know, you can say all you want about the quality of the trophies and the competitions that they won, but they won silverware. City didn't last season, and after all the money that's been spent.
Liverpool need to be in the Champions League because we need players looking around at this football club going, I want to play for them, I want to play for Jurgen Klopp, and I want to play in the Champions League.
I think you've got to look at realistically if Newcastle is to survive. We don't have a big budget, but what we do have is we've got Rafa Benitez. If this was Steve McLaren still in charge of Newcastle, I wouldn't give us a chance at all.
To keep Virgil van Dijk. But honestly, I think I speak for maybe a majority of the fan base. He will stay. He absolutely will.
As long as we're in the title race come the start of May, maybe the start of April, that is what I would consider a good season. Man United have got to be in for the title this year.
It's a bit of a weird one this season. I'm hoping that we can adapt to playing at Wembley. We're giving away our home advantage by playing in a stadium that we're not used to.
I'm hoping for a better season than last year. I'm hoping to at least break in the top 4.
I'm hoping that we can progress from last year, possibly break into the top 6, 7, maybe. I'm dreaming.
I'd really like to see us strengthen a bit more, maybe bring in a few more players.
We want some attractive football this season. We were bored by Claude Puel's tactics, his conservative defending, his approach to the game, sending everybody to sleep.
I hope everything just goes all right and we manage to create some sort of form.
We've still got a little bit of while to go in the transfer window. We get the business done that's needed, and I think that we can seriously challenge for the title.
I want to regain a little bit of stability. Last season was so unpredictable. We really lost our strides. We were just kind of inconsistent. I just want a little bit of stability.
As long as we put in a good title defence, unlike our previous title defence, then I'll be happy.
With Silva bringing a bit more excitement than we've seen over the last 12 months.
It's quite important that Albion keep up their excellent record from last year of beating the teams in and around them.
It will be fantastic for Everton to win a cup and carry on their progression in the league under Koeman.
Well, being Crystal Palace fan, everything. And if we still struggle at home, I think, you know, we could be one of those teams that gets dragged into it again.
I worry massively on a potential injury to a player like Tom Heaton or a player like to Andre Gray. I'm massively worried about that.
What worries me is that potentially Leicester could get relegated next season.
The vast majority of our players are untried at Premier League level, and so it's going to be to not disgrace ourselves.
I think our squad is frighteningly thin, and yeah, if we don't strengthen that, then we could be in serious trouble.
Young players who have come in with big price tags, such as Mendy, Bernardo Silva, Edison, who might take a bit of time to sort of bed in and get used to the Premier League.
I've got a few fears. The fact that Manchester United have signed Romelu Lukaku amongst others, Nemanja Matic and all these type of players, Jose Mourinho going into his second season there, it does worry me. It's got to worry me because I don't want Manchester United to be the club that I've unfortunately had to grow up with.
We're signing bargain players. You're just hopeful that one or two of those come out as good ones.
Virgil, if he leaves, we simply need a Premier League ready or even two Premier League ready centre-backs to replace Virgil.
An injury to Pogba, Herrera or Matic means we're weak in those areas. So I do think that injuries could ruin our season.
We haven't signed any players. In fact, we've weakened our squad by selling Walker to Man City.
Going for a bad patch that we can't get out of. I'm hoping, and I don't think that will happen.
Playing on Super Sunday, big game, everyone's watching, and you get pumped. And you get pumped bad, like 10-0 type bad. That could be us.
Keeping Hernandez fit. If we get an injury to him and a bad one, we could struggle for goals again and we can end up slipping back towards the bottom of the table.
It's losing Sean Dyche. Because in my opinion, on what he's achieved with Burnley, he's one of the best managers in the league.
Is this now one season too long for many of our players? People like Wes Morgan, Robert Huth, even Jamie Vardy. A bit like an apple, are they on the turn or have they got one more season in them?
And if we start losing games because we get found out, not sure Houghton's got a plan B, either the players or the strategy to make that happen.
What happens if we start picking up injuries? That's what worries me.
Hope that Wenger doesn't revert back to his old ways and he is a little bit flexible in his tactics, etc., with a three at the back.
Every single season, for the 4 years he's been with us so far, our start has been shocking. Our worst start by far was last year.
We are worried about our squad depth. We are worried that, you know, we are going to get injuries and we're going to fall away.
Since Deeney and Igalo's partnership fizzled out, we have struggled to score as many goals as we'd like.
A lack of signings really, and a lack of strength and depth that really cost Albion the last 2 seasons.
It's not a team that's blessed with pace, and unless we get the dynamics right to the side, that could be one thing that holds us back this season.
I reckon safely mid-table, but hey, this is Palace. Anything can happen.
Like the motto is at the club, anything is possible, and I'm hoping we finish 8th.
We are going to remain very comfortable this season, and I can see us becoming our 15th side and spend another season establishing our side as a Premier League club.
My prediction is going to be a top 10 finish. I'd like to think top 8. Maybe even challenging Everton for that position that they seem to have nailed on at the moment.
I think because they gel and they get on well and we've got a really decent chairman, I think it's going to be enough to carry us over the line, but only just.
I'd probably say 14th, maybe. I can't see us struggling like we did last season.
After last season, you know, 3rd place wasn't too good. Pep Guardiola, with all the money that's been spent, with the squad he's got now, you know, the title is got to be City's hope this season.
You know, I think we can challenge for the title. I really do. I don't understand people who go into the football season thinking that they're rubbish. It's not me. I wouldn't be able to be a football fan if I didn't have hope and I didn't have dreams.
I think top 15, you've got to be happy with that in the Premier League coming up. It's a tough league. If Newcastle were to finish 15th right now, I will snatch your hand off.
I expect us to finish and compete for that top half finish. Yet again, continuing an excellent record in finishing in the top flight.
But I don't think Man United will win the league this year. Man City are looking just a little bit too strong with how well they've signed in the summer. But I think Man United are going to be back contending for it. And for me, as long as that happens, it's a successful season.
Realistically, I would say we're going to finish third. But like I said a little bit earlier, if we get the signings done that are needed, then I think that we can mount a challenge for the title.
Some days I wake up and I feel, you know, I think about Eden Hazard and I think about, you know, some of these great players that these teams have got and I think, geez, man, there's no chance.
I would expect us to break into the top 10 this year. We've made some good signings, we've spent quite a bit of money, some good quality Premier League signings as well. They all play well, you know. Can I push for 8th maybe?
And you know what? I think Everton will drop points because of Europe. I'm going to say we're going to sneak in to 7th place.
Then I think about David Wagner's beautiful face. I think about what he did last season. And I just think about a world with no limits. And therefore, my prediction is that we are going to stay up.
My heart says we'll be comfortably mid-table, maybe 9th, 10th. My head worryingly thinks we could be 15th or lower.
Top 4, guide for the league, that would be the ideal situation.
I really think that we can look up the table this year. We will improve on last season and I'm going for a reasonably comfortable 12th.
You see the Baggies making a strong start with some favourable fixtures and going on to finish somewhere around 12th.
Anywhere between 4th and 7th, I expect Everton to finish this season.
My heart says that Spurs will finish 2nd. My head says we'll probably finish 5th or 6th. That's not very hopeful, is it?
What worries you?
My wife sleeping with other fellas.